Hi guys, welcome to the DNA Daily. Today we're going to talk about gene therapy and potentially using it to treat cystic fibrosis. Let me just correct that there. So first of all guys, gene therapy, three main points is that it's used to obviously treat genetic diseases, and the first point that we should take note of is that we need to identify the faulty allele. So we need to know where our faulty allele or gene is. Obviously then the next step would be then to replace this faulty allele with one that works. So we're replacing something that is broken essentially. Once that working allele is in, then what we will get is the production of working proteins, which will hopefully then alleviate our symptoms. So we need to identify the faulty allele, then we replace the allele, and then we get the production of working proteins. There are two types of gene therapy essentially, guys. One type is called integrating, and that is when you permanently replace the allele. That has pros and cons. Pros are that it might be a one-off treatment and you wouldn't have to then keep treating the patient over and over again, but the downside to it is it could possibly disturb the rest of the person's genome and have a lot of side effects such as cancer. So you do need to be careful with that one. So in opposition or in contrast to integrating, you have non-integrating gene replacement or gene transfer or gene therapy, and that essentially is not permanent. Good thing about that is that it can be quite targeted, so it won't go to, or it won't replace all the alleles in all the cells in the body, so you'll have less side effects. But then in addition to that, you're going to have to keep replacing genes and alleles, so you're going to need repeat treatment for that. So let's look at how we can use gene therapy in treating cystic fibrosis. We know that our faulty gene is the CFTR, the cystic fibrosis transmembrane regulator protein, which is a channel protein essentially found in airways, around the lungs and the trachea and the bronchi. So we know from just saying this essentially that we need to replace this allele in order to make a working channel protein. How are we going to do that? Well, what we can do is essentially we can use a spray or a nebulizer or an injection. Nebulizer seems to be the better way for me, because if you think about it, it's like an inhaler, isn't it? So that would probably be the easiest way. Now, when we're inhaling this, or if we're going to design something that we can inhale easily, we need to have what we call a vector, something that is actually carrying the DNA. Now, you should know that a microbe or a pathogen that takes DNA into our cells and nuclei is very commonly a virus. So scientists are looking at using virus vectors in order to get the DNA, correct DNA or the correct alleles into the cells. And then hopefully once that's in, our cells can then express a correct working protein, channel protein, and alleviate the symptoms of cystic fibrosis. Hope that helps. Bye bye.